Hello, everybody. We are recording. Hopefully you can hear me. And all is good to go. Turn that volume up. So, Coach Carol coming at you on this amazing Saturday, wanting to put together a virtual orientation for all of you guys so that you have something to go back to if you have any questions and that kind of thing, or just want to refresh your memory if you attended the orientation. But in light of people's busy lives and a busy schedule, we certainly understand if you were unable to make the orientations. So I'm going to go ahead and create this video so that we can go through the PowerPoint, and then that way you'll have something to reference before the kickoff of the challenge. It's going to take about 30 minutes to get through all of this. So enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you right now and going to bring up the PowerPoint. And we'll go ahead and get that started. Here we go. All right. Lights, camera, action.
The diet industry is broken. In fact, a staggering 97% of dieters regain everything they lost and then some within 3 years. Now, did any of you sign up for that? I didn't think so. Well, that's the bad news, but the good news is there's a better way to lose weight and keep it off for good. With the Fit Body Nutrition System, we set you up for long-term success. It all starts with playing the right game and following a sustainable plan that you can do long-term. Now, before we get into the how, let me explain how orientation is going to work. We've broken orientation into 5 sections. At the end of each section, we're going to pause and answer any questions that you have about information covered in that section. Feel free to ask your questions using the chat feature, and we'll address them at the end of the section. We'd ask that you keep your questions specific to the topic that we're covering in each section. If you have a challenge-specific question about something that we don't cover during orientation, please ask it at the end of today's presentation. If you have a non-challenge related question, we'd ask that you please reach out to a member of our team to help. We want to be respectful of everyone's time and ensure that you leave orientation 100% confident to rock the challenge when it begins on September 21st. Here's what we're going to cover today. In section 1, we're going to introduce the basics of fat loss and ask you to forget everything you think you know about losing weight. We'll also introduce the Fit Body Nutrition philosophy and explain how and why it works. In section 2, we'll cover how much food you'll eat, and then in section 3, we'll cover the importance of tracking your food. In section 4, we'll dive into what you can expect from your coach throughout the challenge. And last but not least, we'll wrap everything up by telling you exactly what you need to focus on heading into the challenge. As a reminder, we'll break after each section to answer any questions you have. Okay, let's get started. In this section, we're going to cover Fat Loss 101 and introduce you to the Fit Body Nutrition philosophy. Now, I have good news for those of you who have lost and gained the same 10, 20, or even 50 pounds more than once. You haven't failed that weight loss. You've simply been playing the wrong game. With this challenge, we're going to start playing the infinite game because the objective is to keep playing. This is going to be a big change for many of you because if you're like most people, you've programmed yourself to achieve a very specific goal within a defined start and end date. Maybe it's 10 pounds before your son's wedding or 50 pounds before your class reunion. Does that sound familiar? Beginning with this challenge, we're going to ask you to throw out short-term goals and instead focus on becoming the person who loses the weight and keeps it off. We're going to say goodbye to rules that set you up to fail and instead focus on adopting a nutrition plan that is flexible and fits your lifestyle. You're going to feel satisfied, not starving. Now, that might be new for many of you since most weight loss programs severely restrict calories to help you lose weight in the short term. And maybe the most important part of it all We're going to help you create a sustainable nutrition plan that helps you maintain your results so that this really can be the last time you lose the weight. Now, too often we make weight loss and keeping the weight off way harder than it needs to be with unsustainable rules that set us up for failure from the start. The truth is, long-lasting weight loss is quite simple. First, the plan needs to be sustainable. If you're hungry all the time or the plan doesn't fit your lifestyle, it won't be sustainable, which is why so many people regain the weight after they lose it. The next weight loss principle in the Fit Body Fat Loss Triangle is to reduce the amount of food that you eat. For any weight loss diet to work, you must be in a calorie deficit. That's just science. And finally, we're going to make sure you're eating enough protein, because protein is what helps you feel full, helps your body preserve lean muscle, which drives your metabolism, and helps you maintain the weight loss after you increase your calories again. It's really that simple. As I said, long-lasting weight loss is quite simple. At FitBody, we think about food the same way we think about money. Money is not good or bad, but there are good and bad investments. Likewise, there are no good or bad foods, but some foods are a better investment than others. Foods that give you energy, fill you up, fuel your workouts, and keep your digestive system in check are good investments for your weight loss efforts and long-term health. And poor investment foods provide little or no nutritional value, are very calorie dense, and don't fill you up, and often leave you hungry within an hour of eating them. Now, with our program, we recommend eating more good investment foods to help support your fat loss efforts. Not because you burn more fat eating these foods or anything, but because eating more good investment foods makes it much easier to maintain a calorie deficit and lose weight, because you'll feel great and won't be hungry. To help guide you toward more good investment foods, we categorize all proteins, carbohydrates, and fats into 3 categories: eat more, eat some, and eat less. No foods are off limits. You can eat whatever you want, but when you fill up with eat more foods, it will be much easier to maintain a calorie deficit because you won't feel hungry. And when you're not hungry, it becomes much easier to walk past the break room donuts.
No break room donuts. How are we doing, guys? Any questions? No? Raise your hand. No? If you have questions, just respond in a message in the group on your Fit Body coaching app. Yay! Here we go, section 2.
Now that you know the difference between good and poor investment foods and what to eat more of, some of, and less of, the next step is to determine how much to eat. In your onboarding email, you received instructions for how to download and set up the Fit Body coaching app. Your coach used the information you entered into the app, your gender, age, current weight, measurements, and your activity level, to create a daily calorie budget that safely puts you in a calorie deficit while feeding you as many calories as possible. Now remember, our goal is not to starve you by over-restricting your calories. That's just not smart or sustainable. How you spend your daily calorie budget is up to you, but you'll find it easier to stay in a calorie deficit, which leads to fat loss, if you're satisfied and not hungry all the time. Eating more of the eat more foods will also make it much easier to stay within your daily calorie budget, plus or minus 100 calories. Now, this is why you'll repeatedly hear us remind you to eat a lot more of the eat more foods. Now, no foods are off limits, but different investments will yield different results. Here, you can see 2 very different ways to spend 1,600 calories. As you can see, you get much bigger bang for your calorie buck when you load up on more good investment foods. Now, that doesn't mean you can't eat French fries or hamburgers. It simply means you need to budget for the calories to ensure you don't overdraft your daily calorie bank account. After you receive your daily calorie budget from your coach, you're going to divide that budget into meals. We recommend starting with 4 meals per day, but you can eat 4, 5, or even 6 meals per day. Do what works for you. Remember, sustainability is the goal. We've chosen 4 meals to show you how easy it is to divide your daily calorie budget into meals. Now, let's say your daily calorie budget is 1,600 calories and you decide to evenly divide your calorie budget into 4 meals per day. As you can see here, You'll enjoy 4 400-calorie meals. But you can also divide your daily budget unevenly across your meals to fit your lifestyle. For example, maybe you want to enjoy pizza at lunch or pancakes with the kids on Sunday morning. Simply adjust your calories at other meals to accommodate the higher calorie meal. Nothing is off limits, it just requires some planning. With the Fit Body nutrition system, there are a number of ways to enjoy healthy, delicious, filling meals your whole family will enjoy. The Meal Builder Guide makes it super simple to build countless combinations of simple meals, shakes, and salads that range in calories from 250 to 750. I'll show you how to use the guide to build meals in just a moment. The Fit Body Recipe Guide includes dozens of protein-packed, nutrient-dense recipes that make it super simple to stay within your calorie budget. You can find the recipe guide in your welcome email. And finally, Fit Body meals are ready to go and designed for fat loss and building lean muscle. We'll share a lot more about Fit Body meals when the challenge begins. They're a convenient, delicious way to stay within your daily calorie budget. For ease and simplicity, we recommend following our 2x2 nutrition approach to meal planning. 2x2 refers to eating 2 shakes and 2 whole foods meals per day. Now, you don't have to do this to lose weight, but it's an easy to follow way to enjoy a variety of delicious, nutrient-dense foods, especially if you're new to eating several times a day and don't want to always be thinking about what to make. Remember, you're free to eat what works best for you. Just be sure to eat every few hours to maintain your energy levels and prevent you from getting too hungry in between meals, and stick to your daily calorie budget, plus or minus 100 calories. Building shakes, salads, and simple meals is as easy as following 3 simple steps. First, decide how many calories you want to eat at each meal. Next, you'll turn to the page in the Meal Builder Guide with that calorie amount on the heading and pick a protein, carbohydrate, and fat. We've done all the measuring for you. All you have to do is assemble the food and enjoy it. Let's review each step in a little bit more detail. Remember this slide? It shows you 2 options for dividing your daily calorie budget into meals. To show you how easy it is to build meals, we're going to select option 1, eating 4 400-calorie meals each day. Simply find the page in the Meal Builder Guide and food list with 400 calories per meal at the top of the page as shown here. In the Meal Builder Guide, there are several pages for each calorie range. That's because each calorie range includes protein, carbohydrates, and fats categorized by eat more, eat some, and eat less. Next, you'll choose a protein. I've chosen beef round from the Eat More Protein section and highlighted it here. Next to each food item, you'll see the serving size and calories along with the number of grams of protein, carbohydrates, and fats in each food. For example, 2.8 ounces of beef bottom round has 168 calories, 28 grams of protein, 0 carbohydrates, and 6 grams of fat. You only need to track your food and the serving size in the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app. Information about the grams of protein, carbohydrates, and fats is for information purposes only. All you need to do is track your food and stay within your daily calorie budget plus or minus 100 calories. Now that you've chosen your protein, you'll repeat the process by choosing a carb and fat to complete your 400-calorie meal. Don't forget to load up on free veggies at each meal too. Together, your protein, carbohydrate, and fat equal 400 calories. We've done all the calculations for you. After you've chosen your protein, carbohydrate, and fat, write it down in the meal planning and tracking sheet found in your welcome email. If you choose an eat more food, write it in the green section. Write all eat some foods in the yellow area and eat less foods in the red space on your meal planning and tracking sheet. By planning and tracking your foods, you can easily see where you're spending your daily calorie budget. Again, no foods are off limits, but eating more of the eat more foods will keep you feeling satisfied and feeling great, making it easier to maintain a calorie deficit. If you find yourself feeling hungry, try swapping out eat less foods with eat more food choices from the food list. The Meal Builder Guide and food list includes the serving size and calories for hundreds of foods. To determine portion sizes, you should weigh and measure your food whenever possible. This is the most accurate way to ensure you're sticking to the calorie budget your coach gave you.
all about getting in those meals each day, having a nice routine in our nutrition, and finding that correct portion size, guys. Any questions? Let's post them in the group in your Fit Body Coaching app. Here we go, section 3.
In this section, we will cover how to use food tracking to accelerate your results. Raise your hand if you want to drastically improve your weight loss results and significantly increase the likelihood of maintaining your results long after the challenge ends. Well, I've got good news. When you commit to tracking your food, you will be successful. Here's why. When you track your food, you become more mindful about what, when, and why you're eating. After all, if you know you'll have to track the handful of jelly beans you eat from your coworker's candy dish, you might think twice about eating them. When you track your food, you'll be less apt to overdraft your daily calorie count. Tracking your food also gives your coach insight into how to help you reach your goals. Your nutrition, combined with sticking to your habits, working out, drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water every day, and getting good quality sleep, all affect your results. You can track your food in the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app. The Fit Body Coaching app defaults to the Fitbit app. However, the MyFitnessPal app is more compatible with recipe building. So if you prefer to use the MyFitnessPal app to track your food, just let your coach know. If you're new to tracking your food and using the app sounds too intimidating, start slowly. We recommend printing the meal planning and tracking document that was included in your welcome email and plan a day's worth of meals. Once you know what you're going to eat for the day, enter each item into the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app until you get the hang of using just the app. Tracking your food is a skill that will take a little bit of time to learn, but it's essential to long-term weight loss. So spend the necessary time to learn this essential skill. We promise before long, you'll be a food tracking pro. Now, you may notice when logging foods in the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app that values for calories, protein, carbs, and some fats may be different inside the app than appear on the food list. This is due to the vast number of different brands and types of food available in the food logging app databases. The food that you select may not be the same choice that was chosen for the food list example. Please expect these small discrepancies to appear when tracking. If you track a food that has a large discrepancy, we recommend toggling to a different choice of that food that aligns closer to the values found in the food list.
Compilation of prior challenges, we're finding that by placing all of the portion sizes per calorie range and then establishing that for every food, protein, carbs, and fat is just that one less thing we have to think about. Just go right to it. You know what you need to gather up your recipe for success, the right portion sizes. That's going to help you guys be able to get those goals and results that we are all looking for. So again, questions, post in the message center of your Fit Body Coaching app. Section 4 coming up, or 3.
Best athletes in the world need a coach, and so do you. One of the many things that makes Fit Body unlike any gym or fitness program you've tried before is the accountability and support your coach provides. In addition to creating your custom fitness and nutrition plan, your coach will guide, motivate, inspire, and hold you accountable throughout the challenge. Here's what you can expect. In week 1, your coach will check in with you to see how you're doing with your exercise and nutrition plan. Be honest with your coach. They're here to help you. Beginning in week 2, your coach will check in with you every week to monitor your nutrition, exercise, and daily habits to ensure you're on track to reach your goal. Every Saturday, you'll enter your weight and total inches in the Fit Body Coaching app so your coach can track your results. The program guide shows you what measurements to include in the app. Your welcome email also includes a document that shows you exactly how to take your measurements. On Saturday, in weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8, you'll enter your measurements in the Fit Body Coaching app and a document your coach provides. And finally, in weeks 4 and 8, you'll take your progress pictures. Don't worry, we'll remind you each week what to do. Now, speaking of pictures, if you haven't taken your before photos yet, be sure to do that before the challenge begins on September 21st and upload your photos into the Fit Body Coaching app. We get it. You might not like how you look today, but your before photos are an important part of the process and your journey. You can find best practices for taking your before and after photos in your welcome email. You'll resubmit your before photo along with your after photo in week 8, so hold on to it. Again, don't worry, we'll remind you.
All right, guys, that's the most important part of the challenge right there, is staying in constant communication with your coaches. And if you have any questions, reaching out, having that extra accountability, motivation, and support, and just, being mindful every day throughout the week to staying on top of your goals, your habits, and then those results will follow. Moving on, section number 4. Here we go.
We covered a lot today, so let's recap what you need to do. Download the Fit Body Coaching app and enter the information outlined in your welcome email so your coach can create your daily calorie budget. Download the Fitbit app or MyFitnessPal app to track your food. If you plan to use the MyFitnessPal app, just let your coach know so that they can adjust the settings for you. Stay within your daily calorie budget, plus or minus 100 calories. Take your before pictures after reading the best practices for taking pictures guide in your welcome email and upload them into the Fit Body Coaching app. Be sure to hold on to them because you'll submit them again in week 8. Respond to your coach's weekly check-ins. They're here to help you succeed. And enter your weight and measurements into the app every Saturday. That wraps up section 5 and orientation. Now let's take a few minutes to answer some final questions that you have.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Short, sweet, simple, but very efficient, effective. Hopefully that helps clarify the challenge. You've gone through all the material in the email that was sent out to you. I know it's a lot of stuff, but planning and preparation is key. So get on top of that. Getting through that first week will be part of your, processing, building that routine into your day. And then by weeks 2 and then throughout, you guys are going to be smooth sailing all the way. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to your coaches. We're here for you, and we can't wait to see those results at the end of 56 days, guys. So let's give it our all, stay on it, and make it a great day. Thank you. Get the meal prep.